Welcome to partialarc.com. Don't do that.
Do you want to hear a story? I'm not letting go.
Are you ready for this?
Follow your heart.
I'm going in.
This is
Blockbuster Smash Up.
Welcome to another episode of Blockbuster Smash Up. I'm your host, Jay Jones, and as each episode, I'll be joined by my wonderful co-host, Todd G. Levin, and our special guests as we try to smash one globally accepted good film and one globally accepted bad film into one hopefully cohesive new film for you guys. With that said, let's dive in and meet our guests. All right, so let's meet our guests. Todd, please introduce our guests.
Over here in one corner, we've got returning for the first time after the other time that she is Marissa Gallant.
Hey, everybody.
And in the other corner, we've got Laura, formerly Yonker, who I just realized got married and I don't know her last name.
That would be Myers.
And now we go on to more past stuff with a personal question. Todd, what is our personal question?
What's a movie that you had to watch it a second time to like really understand that it was the first time you watched it, you didn't appreciate it, you didn't think it was that good, you didn't understand it, let's say, and then the second time you're like, oh, this movie's way better than I thought.
I have one.
Yeah.
Ooh, what's yours?
It's not necessarily, I don't know if I'd call it childhood, but I was in high school.
Sure.
It's okay.
Doesn't have to
it
be
could have been
As
yesterday.
a youngster,
Yeah.
I viewed, and I liked the movie, but I didn't quite understand Talented Mr. Ripley.
Oh.
And it was on last
You saw it
week.
as a child?
I saw it 16.
Okay,
Well,
that's good.
is that a child? I feel like I was a child. Still a child.
Yeah.
You know what?
You're
Sure.
still a child.
Yeah.
Sure.
Still a child.
We have some questions for your husband.
It was just one of those fantastic, like, all the acting's really great. I think it was really underrated at the time.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's shot beautifully. I don't know. It's one of those.
Isn't it
like,
great?
What do you mean? Yes, of course it's great.
It's just
I'm
such a
saying
great movie.
It's a good movie. Matt Damon at his best. I think people
Yeah.
didn't respond to it then because they had just seen Good Will Hunting and they didn't want to see him playing like a psychopathic murderer. That's Philip Seymour Hoffman at his best. His absolute
Jude
best.
Law at his best. Gwyneth
yeah.
Paltrow at her best.
I think maybe
They
because
were
like
all
the
peaking.
advertising for
Yeah.
that movie was like confusing. I think it just didn't have like for people enough when they were looking. I remember the trailer for that movie.
I just
It
don't think
being
we
like,
were
is
the
it
audience.
A bunch of people on a boat
I just don't
together
think
hanging
that we
out.
were
just
16,
weren't the audience.
we
Probably
were
16-year-olds are not the
16,
audience for Talented Mr.
Yeah,
Ripley.
for not the
I
audience
was.
for a Patricia Highsmith like brilliant.
Probably someone who was
mid-century.
watching Back to the Future and Batman 89 on repeat. Talented Mr. Ripley was not the target market.
Do you have one,
Sweet memory.
Marissa?
Marissa, do you have yours?
So, I actually have a very low tolerance for rewatching movies I did not like.
Surprising.
Even if someone's like, no, it's actually good, I'm like, I don't care.
I trust my 9-year-old self.
I've never changed. I'm the same person I've been my entire life. But I was recently getting my hair done at a place called the Dry Bar.
Oh yeah.
As she
I was
does.
at,
Sure.
I was at the Dry
Oh.
Bar.
They
and
show movies
they
in
show
the champagne and
movies,
everything.
And they were playing.
Why do I know that?
Why do you know that,
My
Todd?
friend worked there.
Right. And they were playing Crazy Stupid Love,
Okay.
which I didn't really like.
Oh,
They always play
Crazy
romantic
Stupid
comedies
Love.
there.
That's
Right.
the movie
They
with
do.
Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling and Steve Carell, which
Carell.
I didn't really like the first time. I thought it was pretty stupid. But watching it on silent with subtitles while getting my hair done was more enjoyable than the first time I saw it.
All right.
I don't know if that's a compliment for the film or.
Yeah, I'm not really sure, but
I really liked your movie while other people were doing things to my hair and
Yeah.
it was on silent and I was drunk.
I wasn't.
The conditions have to be right.
all right, guys. Well, those were our personal questions, and that'll be taking us to our game, Blockbuster Smash Up.
Smash, 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 smash,
Smash, smash, smash. All right, this is our game, Blockbuster Smash Up. This is where we take two films, one globally accepted good film and one globally accepted bad film, and smash them together, fusing them forever as one film, and must make some kind of coherent sense out of it. So, Todd,
Yeah.
for this episode, you have the good film,
Yep.
and I have the bad film. So, on the count of three, we will smash them together. One, two, three.
The
Catwoman.
Truman Show. Oh man.
Wow. What?
Catwoman in the Truman Show?
Catwoman and the Truman Show.
Wow.
Catwoman.
I mean, yeah, it's a bad movie.
Not a very
yeah,
good movie.
That's a bad
Turns
movie.
out.
Oh, I feel like Catwoman's just poison. You know what I mean? It's just like,
it's gonna happen. We will have to mix it with Truman Show.
boy, oh boy, oh boy. Okay, so
Sorry, all of you Catwoman fans out there.
yeah, and there aren't any. All right, so Truman Show. The Truman Show is the brilliant Peter Weir, Andrew Niccol movie where Jim Carrey, second week in a row we got a Jim Carrey movie.
Oh yeah, wow.
Where Jim Carrey plays Truman Burbank. Do you guys know that's his last name?
I did not
Burbank?
know that.
Burbank.
Whoa, I didn't know that.
Truman Burbank is the world's.
It's kind of lazy script writing.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
where do I live?
Where do I live?
Burbank.
I think that's actually where the stage
That's
is.
where the studio is in
Yeah.
Burbank.
But we're getting ahead of ourselves. Truman Burbank is the world's first, I think in the movie they say, world's first human being born unto a corporation.
Oh,
Because he's like,
he's an owned product, essentially.
He's a product, and he was born and bred to be the star of an experimental TV show, the brainchild of a visionary director named Christoph, played by Ed Harris.
He doesn't have a last name.
No, he's that cool.
He's that visionary.
Christoph Van Nuys.
It's actually, I mean, it sounds like a pretty good name.
Yeah.
And Truman is the subject of the experiment where basically he is under 24/7 surveillance in a like huge dome thing that is like almost like the size of an
It's a,
entire
like-
city.
yeah.
And
It's massive.
Truman
Truman
believes
Dome.
that it is his entire world, that he lives in this small
It's kind of like a Key West. There's like a
Yeah.
beach area and like
it's like a northeastern,
Key West is in the northeast. That's correct.
Sure. It's like a sea town or whatever, but he's basically a prisoner or the star of this show, and everybody around the world watches the phenomenon that is the Truman Show.
They watch him sleep,
They
which
watch
is
him
terrifying.
sleep. 24/7 around the world, he is broadcast his entire life. They've populated his world with actors that come on the show acting as his family, his friends, as his teachers and people that just populate his world.
It's also the first NC-17 TV show because it shows everything all the time, which is just really creepy.
That's the other thing, is that they've sort of created a world for him that's very much like a Leave It to Beaver, fake mid-century fantasy.
People talk about products mid-statement and stare off into the distance
That's right.
talking about it.
Complete with product placement and cookie cutter existence. And Truman suddenly learns or starts to become aware that his world isn't what he thought it was, and he starts to unravel the fact that this is all artifice around him. And in pining after this girl that he met in his youth that ended up not being who the studio went with for the choice of his wife, a girl named that he thinks is named Lauren, that is actually named Sylvia. He is constantly trying to find her, who he thinks went to Fiji. And then outside of his world, in the real world, Sylvia has been leading the Free Truman movement to try and get him out of there because they think it's not right. It's kind of a human rights issue.
Probably.
And
keeping a person
and he's
essentially trapped.
That's right. And he's been trapped by some implanted or fabricated, I guess, contrived memories, contrived traumatic events, mainly of his father dying at sea. So he doesn't want to ever leave the island. He has a phobia of leaving the island. And at the end, he leaves on a boat and hits the edge of his world and finally exits.
Yeah. And he goes outside and he gets shawarma, like the end of every good movie.
Yeah.
So my film,
And you did Catwoman.
my bad
you
film
asshole.
is Catwoman. Catwoman is a movie about Patience Phillips. She
Really?
She is a graphic. She's not Selena Kyle, so she's not regular Catwoman.
See, I don't even know any of. I don't
Yeah.
even know. But Patience.
Well, you're going to learn a lot more
seems
about
like a
Catwoman
bad
than you
idea.
were hoping you would.
Oh,
So,
my God.
Halle Berry plays Patience Phillips, who is a graphic designer for a cosmetics company, already pretty close to the comic books.
Already boring.
And she is like one night investigating like a factory. I completely forget why. And they
for
find
design
out,
purposes.
like somebody approved this, and they're like, get her. And she sees like that, like she overhears someone saying like the cosmetics, when we ship it, it'll kill everybody. Which actually, the cosmetics will do two things. If you stop taking it, you will slowly decay and die. And if you take too much of it, your skin will be turned to marble. So like these
What
guys
kind of
didn't have like
I'm
a
sorry,
long-term plan.
What kind of cosmetics are these that you're taking them?
It's like a skin cream. It's like a
Okay.
skin cream. It's supposed to like stop aging.
So it's supposed to be,
Got
like,
it.
but it's a drug basically, right? That you have to keep taking it. Is that the concept?
It's supposed to
Okay.
be like, I guess it's addictive.
Yeah,
But the
right.
thing is, like, if you stop, they found out, and this is what they didn't want to get out, and what she was eventually, spoiler alert, killed for, is that if you stop taking it, it'll like kill you, which the lawsuits for this will be insane.
And
you'll be in jail forever.
And she's not a journalist or anything.
No, she's she's a graphic designer.
Anything that would
who is killed
makes sense why
by
she
getting
would go
flushed down an elaborate large toilet.
No.
Yeah, well, it's like that's the metaphor. I don't know. It's a dumb metaphor.
What the
Anyways,
fuck?
and she is brought back to life by Egyptian cat magic. A bunch of cats and an Egyptian cat finds her and I think licks her, and then she comes back with cat powers, which isn't too far off. It kind of is. Anyways, so she has cat powers, which give her the power to be like a cat, to make a lot of cat jokes, to become a CGI character for half the movie, and to play basketball really well.
Does she
So
have
those
cats?
are her
Does she begin
cat-like
with
powers.
cats?
I think she has a pet cat.
Okay.
She plays basketball in the movie?
Really well, yeah. There's a scene with her and her love interest, and it's a really cheesy basketball scene where it's like they do some sexual tension, like look at how close we're getting playing basketball, but also I'm like a cat, and these are my powers.
Do cats play basketball well? I
think so. You know what? In fact, if we go to the internet, I'm sure there's plenty of videos of cats attempting to play basketball, so that might actually be pretty scientifically accurate. Yeah. So eventually she finds out that Sharon Stone, who is in this movie,
Sharon Stone's in it?
is the villain, in that she finds out that Sharon Stone had her killed or attempted to kill, and they have a nice epic battle in the end, and she wins and doesn't go to jail.
Oh my God,
Sharon
it's already
Stone,
over?
I think it dies. It's not very clear. Anyways, that's Catwoman.
Okay,
and that
I
is
have so many questions.
Okay, please. Oh, first off,
that's really painful.
Some fun facts about Catwoman. 43 cats were trained for this film. I don't know why 43 were trained.
Not enough.
Because I think there was only 3 in the movie, but they trained 43. Also, Halle Berry personally accepted her own Razzie for this film.
Yeah.
She's the first actor to ever go to the Razzies and accept her own
Worst Actress award.
Fun fact is she did it. She did
respect
it
for sure.
Holding her Oscar that she won that very same year. Okay, so we have our movies, Catwoman and Truman Show.
Oh, wait, I have more questions about Catwoman.
Oh, yeah. Please. What are your questions?
So, Catwoman is a Batman villain.
Yes. I mean, she is, technically. In this
was-
movie, she is not. She has no relationship to Batman. There is no Batman mentioned. I don't even think they're in Gotham.
I mean,
it seems like they were just in New York City.
And it's not even the same, her alias isn't even the same.
No, yeah, it's not even Selena Kyle, who is the regular Catwoman. This is just someone named Patience Phillips.
Do you know what the name of Sharon Stone's character is?
Marble Face. What? Because that's what she is at the end. She is a marble-ish face and is hard to fight because it's made of marble.
Because she stops using the cream, right?
Oh,
no, she uses it too much. So the other end of it is if you stop, you decay, but if you use it too much, your face turns into marble.
So it's like a Goldilocks cream situation.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, that's what it is.
Gotcha.
Too much. You got to just find that right middle ground.
So is DC involved in this movie at all?
I'm sure they were.
Who was
of
driving
course.
this ship?
I mean, the movie is called Catwoman, so they were involved at some point, and apparently, the writers on this, the rewrites on this, is insane. It has 10 or 12 writers on this film.
Sure.
And the director,
usually the sign of a pretty bad movie.
Yeah, the director of this film is one name, not even two names. It is Pitoff. And we all know about Pitoff's we don't, because Pitoff only before Catwoman directed a French noir film that went nowhere, and then after Catwoman did one TV movie and one short film, and Pitoff has never been heard from again as a director.
Is he still alive?
He is, and
Free Pitoff.
I'm concerned about Pitoff.
Yeah,
Okay,
guys.
I have it.
You have the cold open?
I have the cold open.
Well, take it away, Todd.
So there's this French director guy, and his name's Pitoff.
Go on.
Right? And that's what he's known as. He's an artist, and he only has one name. It's Pitoff. And he has this concept in his head that he's been trying to get off the ground ever since his days doing this little,
ever since he was
noir
rescued by an
movie.
Egyptian cat as a child.
That's right. Ever since he was rescued by an Egyptian cat.
That saved him from murder.
He's always had this concept where it's I really want to create this character, but and then in the world of all superhero movies, everyone's kind of just superhero movies, they're old, nobody wants that.
They'll never be
anymore.
the future of franchise films.
That's right. And then Pitoff is but I would like to create a real superhero. So
Ooh.
he pitches the studio this concept of building a giant environment for a person that they will contractually basically grow in this place, in this habitat if you will.
But Pitoff only saw 1966 Batman TV shows to base his concept of what superheroes are.
Yeah.
So everybody in the town speaks like they're like, nah, the robbery is happening downtown, see? We gotta get them on the case.
And so I think he creates this woman and then they manufacture basically all of like her memories and traumatic experiences and everything based off of his own cat horror.
Oh, so
story.
she's not like born there and raised.
Oh,
and
she is raised there, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but from
Are her
childhood.
parents killed dramatically?
I think they killed her parents maybe by cats.
So
Parents died by cats.
by cats.
by cat.
So she
Death by
dons
cat.
the
On the
look
death
of
certificate,
a
it
cat.
said cat under like death.
This is
That's
that
not specific enough.
That's all it says in the newspaper. Death by cat.
Did they choke on a cat?
That's all it said.
Allergies?
That's all it
Hairball.
said.
Hairball.
She
Yeah.
doesn't know, and so
This
she's
makes
actually.
the character way more darker because
She's
it's
a-
like I wear the visage of the thing that killed my parents.
Oh, I wonder what other superheroes like that.
Bats didn't kill Batman's parents.
Sure, they did. What Batman did
That
you
would have
watch?
made that scene way better. You see the parents like, no, don't do it, and it just turns it's just a bat holding a gun.
Just upside down,
It's upside
just
down
hanging
bat.
from a fire escape.
Give me the pearls.
My name's Joe Chill. I'm a bat.
Oh boy.
I have a retcon for the parents situation.
Sure, go ahead.
I think they went to go see Cats on Broadway,
I-
and then they left.
They were mugged by the cast.
Then they
of
were
cats.
mugged by the cast of Cats outside.
The performers mugged them.
That's right. She got
Yeah.
really nervous and she started making like a scene, I think, this little girl, because, of her cat phobias. And then so
But Mr. Mistopheles, why?
she left and made her parents leave with her, and everyone was like really mad at him, I guess. And then in the alleyway, I guess the people who aren't on stage at that time, the cast members came out and they were just like,
And they shot her parents, just a
Yeah.
whole bunch.
and then she's like, why?
Forget it, kid. It's Key West.
It's Cat Town. No, she's like, but why? And they're like, because Jellicles can.
That's awesome.
So that's how her parents died. So by
Okay.
cat still applies.
Sure.
A cat still
But
killed her
just
parents.
being more specific about it,
Yeah.
it was because some rogue cast members got really angry.
Well, I think we
Makes
already
sense.
know who the primary villains of this movie is going to be. Just cat on cat fighting.
and this is all like the brainchild of
of a visionary, Pitoff.
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 What is that name? Yeah, this is all like the
a real
vision
person,
of
Todd.
Pitoff. So in actuality, in real life, everyone is watching this television show of this character, this little girl who's growing up, and all these terrible cat-related things are happening to her.
Because now, is she going to become Catwoman?
She has to
Or is
become-
she going to become someone that hates cat?
I think she's got.
She's going to become Catwoman?
the cat.
She's going to become the thing that she despises? I think the moment where she has this switch, where she does have to run into a cat, but her whole life she's hated cats.
Yeah.
And I think, she starts to rebel when she's younger. She wants to kind of throw herself in danger, so she becomes a firefighter. And she becomes a
Excellent.
firefighter, and she like
Nice work.
and also like in fires, cats are nowhere near fires because
Right.
they hate
No.
fire.
Right.
So she's like, I know no matter what, I'm going to save people, and there's definitely not going to be any cats. And she gets a phone call one day. Philip's stuck. You have to get Philip. And she shows up in a classic, because again, this is 66 Batman, so all the fire trucks are like really goofy, and they're all like just like one little Dalmatian, her
Right.
best
You guys
friend.
both just make cat noises.
That's right.
That's also the subtlety. Everything here, again, the director, everything sounds like a cat.
He's a genius.
So-
Well, I think she shows up and she's like, "Where's the fire?" And then the woman's just like, "No, Philip, my cat is in the tree." And then this is like this moment that she has to overcome. That's very scary for her.
She has to save the cat.
And then are they struck by lightning in
At the
tree?
same time,
Yeah.
yeah.
Tree?
Then she's
And then-
struck-
And then both of them pee at the same time.
And they pee.
See, I think like the cat scratches her and like makes her bleed, and there's a transference of fluids.
Ooh.
Maybe.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Cat
I like
blood.
that.
She got the
Like,
cat blood.
she got cat AIDS.
She got the cat blood.
She got the cat bloods.
So she has this transference of cat powers. And what are
Right.
the powers what is the true powers that a cat will give?
Oh, can
someone?
sleep for like 20 hours
Yeah.
at a time.
Always find.
She gets fired from her job because he never shows up
can always
again.
find the warm spots on the ground.
All the powers are completely useless.
Gets
Nails?
easily distracted.
Easily
by
distracted
dumb
by
shit.
almost anything.
Yeah.
Get stoned off catnip.
True.
Stoned off catnip, doesn't give a shit about anybody.
He's got some cool nails. Some sharp
Some
ass
really, really badass nails,
Right.
though.
Jumping abilities, jumping and landing abilities.
That's
She
right.
never
yeah.
falls on her back. She, no matter what.
Right.
Yeah.
Always lands on her feet.
Always
That
lands
patience.
on her feet.
So she decides, she realizes she has all these very cool cat powers.
yeah. Or
and-
not very cool cat powers.
I mean, she thinks they're pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean,
Regular
sleeping-
cat powers.
she
regular cat
doesn't have to
powers.
take any showers anymore. She just licks herself.
That's true. Mm-hmm. Subsequently, not a bad power. So what's going to lead us into this finale?
Something having to do with
What
Sharon
happens?
Stone.
She's
we
discovering
need good old marble face.
Yeah, we need Marble Face.
Marble Face needs to come back. So maybe Sharon Stone. No, so Sharon Stone in the movie Catwoman, in the actual movie Catwoman, she's taking this cream because she feels like she's getting older and she wants to stop the aging.
Okay.
So maybe Sharon Stone was the young Mr. Mistopheles. So I think Sharon Stone is like returning to the Broadway production of Cats in the
Oh.
local town.
Okay. Also, she has a deal with a cosmetics company pushing cream.
Oh, yeah.
Face cream.
It's constant because it's like Truman Show. She's
Yeah.
constantly referring to the cream in almost every scene. Even in the middle of the Cat
What's
show,
the-
she stops
what's
and
the
starts
cream
talking
called?
about it.
Sure.
What's the cream called? Age Away.
So Age Away is the all over the banners of Cats, and I think she's gonna break in Raid style, Dread style. She has to fight her way.
Who, Patience?
Patience has to fight her way as Catwoman. She dons her cat-like outfit and must fight through these actual other cats to become the ultimate cat.
I think at one point there's a giant vat of Age Away, and
Oh.
Patience pushes Sharon Stone into
She
it.
becomes a giant marble
and
monster.
then she's like, "Oh, I'm glad that's over." And then she like comes out of it, and it's just like, not until I say so.
And again, like 18-year dedicated people to this TV show are just like, I just don't know where this is going anymore, but I'm in.
They end up
Yeah.
canceling this show.
yeah,
by the way.
right at the finale.
Patience
that's
doesn't
the
get out,
ending,
the
is
show
it?
just gets canceled.
Yeah, they just can't. They're just like, this is stupid. Pitoff, you're fired. He wasted 14 years of her life.
And the end of the movie, the last act is just her having to adjust to society that isn't based around
Yeah.
just absolute superhero.
and she
shenanigans.
realizes, and the greatest horror is that she realizes, and this is like later on, there's like a E! True Hollywood story or whatever, how she drove herself crazy because when she got out, she learned about this thing called the internet and all this stuff that's like post mid-century 60s, Batman stuff or
Yeah.
whatever. And on the internet, obviously, cats are king, and she just like, it drove her slowly crazy.
Because
Then
cats are
And
everywhere.
then she turned into a cat
They're on her
lady.
Facebook feed. Just insane. You can't get away
Yeah.
from them.
And then she turned into a cat lady, and nobody really ever heard from her ever again.
This turned into a really fun movie.
Yeah.
It's turned into a really fun.
Real fun.
Real emotionally uplifting. So anyone have any closing ideas for, I think are we just going to end on the sad note that
I think it's a
Catwoman-
really
Cat
tragic
on-
story.
She's a cat lady.
that she just dies alone?
Does something happen with Pitoff?
Yeah, I think Pitoff
I
something.
think Pitoff's got a
Maybe they get married.
Wow.
like he feels guilty.
Yeah,
and
he's like,
fosters a friendship.
I
You know,
Grew
just
you.
a 70-year-old man marrying
This is getting real
confused
creepy.
18-year-old girl.
I think he looks at Patience as maybe like because when she leaves, she's almost like a feral animal.
This is like a Woody
She's
Allen
wild.
Sunni
Yeah, this
thing,
is
where
like a
he
Woody Allen
raised
movie.
her and
Right.
then married her.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
Okay, actually, if Pitoff is played by Woody Allen, we can
Done.
start getting right into the casting. I'm kind of
done. Yeah,
I'm
I'm
into
cool with
turning it
that.
around. I'm in.
I like
Yeah,
it.
Who's our Catwoman?
Younger? It's got to be younger.
Like Selena Gomez.
yeah. Selena Gomez. Why? Don't know.
Don't know. She's
Yeah,
young.
She's young.
She's young.
Yeah.
done.
She's the youngest person I could think of. She might be my age. I don't know who Selena Gomez is.
Just sounded right.
Yeah, no, it does sound right though. So Woody Allen. So Woody Allen is Pitoff.
Is
basically,
Pitoff.
Yeah,
And I think what is this movie called? I think it should just be called Pitoff's Cats.
That sounds way more interesting than what we've actually just got
What we've
through.
actually discussed. What are you seeing this weekend?
That I would see.
I think it's like an Oscar nom. It's totally gonna be nominated. It's called Pitoff's Cats. I mean, it sounds
and it's
really
written,
experimental.
It's written by Charlie Kaufman.
I hear Charlie Kaufman did a rewrite on it. I mean, this is
And
really
everyone
unique
are
stuff.
puppets.
And Selena Gomez, real breakout star in this movie.
Yeah. So yeah, how do you advertise this
Let's say we're
movie?
still pitching this for an Oscar nom. What's our tagline for this film?
But then she
Cats. Remember that musical? Pitoff's Cats. Cats. It's still on Broadway. Meowsers.
Just leave everybody questioning like what the heck that means. They're so intrigued they have to see
It just says meowsers with a question mark at the bottom.
P-Tops cats.
But it's all like really serious poses from Woody Allen and from Selena Gomez on the cover.
Oh, man.
Well, guys, that was our movie, P-Tops Cats.
Why?
And that'll take us to our game, Marry, Fuck, Kill.
Marry, fuck, kill. Marry, fuck, kill. Marry, fuck, kill. Marry, fuck,
Kill.
All right, this is our game, Marry, Fuck, Kill. This is where Todd will name 3 movies, and we'll have to choose which one we would marry, which one we would fuck, and which one we would kill. So, Todd,
Yeah.
what are our movies?
All right, so we're going to go with gangster films on this week's Marry, Fucking Kill.
Excellent.
And so you must choose if you would like to marry, fuck, or kill The Godfather, Scarface, or Goodfellas.
Does anyone have their picks right out the gate?
I've only seen one of those three
Oh,
movies.
But
and
you
what
know,
would you do to
but
that
you
one
know
movie?
the other one.
Yeah.
What would you do to that? What do you want to do with that
I
one
mean, to the
movie?
one movie you really know.
Okay, so we have The Godfather,
Yeah,
Scarface,
that's right.
And Goodfellas.
and Goodfellas. Not going to tell you which one I've seen.
Ooh, okay.
Oh.
I
Mystery
don't know why.
abound.
Just fun for me to know and you guys to not know.
Yeah.
Tricky.
Do you have one yet?
Oh yeah, I've got mine.
All right.
Ooh, go ahead.
You
Go
do
right
yours
ahead.
and I'll.
Go
I'm
for it.
chomping at the bit. So let's go with the classic of all classics. Godfather would marry Godfather.
Got it.
Now, why would you marry Godfather?
I would marry Godfather because it's epic. Because
An epic
it's-
marriage.
It's because it's Al Pacino and his finest. You get to see bloated actor Godfather who plays Godfather.
Marlon Brando.
Marlon Brando.
I'm like, I can picture him. Marlon Brando.
Or a balloon, just a giant balloon, or Marlon Brando.
It's funny because I mean, you say bloated, but it's like he got way more bloated later.
I know.
That was the-
that was
he
the
was
beginning.
he was well on his way to becoming.
I know, but it's just funny because it's like I think of that as like that's like thin Marlon Brando. You know?
Well, Todd, it was the bloating. It was the beginning of it. Of
It's
when it
not on the
started.
waterfront, Marlon Brando, but it's like it's just like, oh yeah, he's like a normal looking guy, and he's got maybe he's got.
Then when he
grapes in his
reached
leg.
Island of Dr. Moreau, then he started to float away.
Yeah, right.
Into
Was the
space.
island.
float away with bucket on his head,
So yeah, so you'll have Marlon Brando in your
Plus,
life.
yeah, you marry Marlon Brando. He gets fat. It's okay. You know?
Yeah.
You know?
It's fun.
I think so we've got Scarface and Goodfellas. This is a hard one because I think you could really go either way, but I think I would fuck Goodfellas because it's Ray Liotta, it's Goodfellas, it's Martin Scorsese. He's cutting garlic with a straight razor.
It's really sexy.
Yeah.
It's pretty sexy.
How he cuts that garlic.
How he cuts the garlic. He snorts a lot of cocaine. I don't know. It's all. Of course, Scarface. They snort a lot of cocaine.
There's
too.
a lot of cocaine in Scarface.
But I feel like Scarface is so violent. I mean, like you just want to kill it. Like it's coming at you.
Yeah.
He's so violent.
It's a dangerous movie.
It's a
for
dangerous
sure, yeah.
movie.
and sure, you're going to have to
makes
shoot
me-
through his whole house to get to him, but you can kill him.
Yeah.
I mean,
you get
eventually.
to it.
Last
So I
one.
feel like violence meeting violence with that one.
Yeah, kill the killer. Yeah,
You know what?
Yeah.
I can take a shot.
go
Here.
for it.
I'm going to straight away say, and this will be a little controversial, I would kill Godfather
Okay.
for 2 reasons. One, and this sounds terrible, but I've tried to get through that movie twice in my life and could not make it through the whole movie.
Whoa, really? You haven't seen the whole
I
movie?
haven't seen the whole movie Godfather.
Oh, man.
I've gotten to like the hour and 15-minute mark, and I've just been so bored that I've just been like, you know
Come
what?
back from Sicily yet?
I just, man, I know the whole movie. That's the other problem with it. Is like,
Have you
because it
seen
is
the end?
such a big film, I know all about it.
Okay.
So I'm happy to kill
As long as you've seen the Renounced Christ,
I've seen like all the important
cross-cut
stuff.
moment, 'cause that
Also,
moment's
you know,
just, like, unreal.
I like toll booths, and I don't want to have to be afraid of them my whole life. So you know what? I want to kill that
Great
to get
reason.
my fear of toll booths out of the
Great
way.
reason.
So Godfather is dead.
Sonny.
I'd probably fuck Scarface because that is a movie of just like Michelle Pfeiffer and like the
Stop
cocaine
right
and just
there.
like there's so much
That white
sexy
gold.
atmosphere in Scarface. Like everything about it, like I wouldn't want to be in that house for too long because like after a while you're like, wow, this is a lot. There's like a giant bathtub and like crazy gold everywhere. But like for like for a couple hours, it'd be probably pretty nice.
Yeah.
And then for Goodfellas, I mean, yeah, all these movies are filled with gangsters, so you're not going to get criminality out of your life.
Right.
But like Goodfellas feels like the most family-esque movie. Like you've got a lot of like brotherly, family-like people. Even like what the mom comes over in Goodfellas, which is actually, who's the actor? It's actually it's Martin Scorsese's mom comes over in the scene when they go to Joe Pesci's house.
Yeah.
The mom, Joe Pesci's mom in the movie, is actually Martin Scorsese's real mom.
For sure, Martin Scorsese's mom?
Yeah, it's
that's
real
funny.
Martin Scorsese's mom. And it's just like, there's a lot of like, you feel like they're a family in that movie.
That scene's really funny because like she's like, "Oh, you want more pasta?
I'm gonna make you
And
dinner."
they
It's like,
literally-
"Ma, it's in the middle of the night."
They literally have a dead guy in the backseat of the car that they just stabbed.
Yeah.
That actually came back alive, and then they had to stab him some more.
And I mean, you're gonna get a lot of good food in that
hungry.
marriage. You get a lot of good food. So I would definitely marry Goodfellas.
All right.
Anyone have theirs?
I definitely think I would marry Goodfellas.
Good call.
I think that it would be a fun marriage. It would be,
Oh,
we'd have some good
screaming
times.
Have some
gun
good times.
pointing. Yeah.
Because
Garlic cutting.
the food would be good. The movie's like fun. It's a fun movie.
It
I mean, it
is.
gets bad,
Right.
but bad things happen, but like it's fun.
It's
and,
kind of like the original Ocean's 11, sort of, but like the
Yeah.
Ocean's 4 or 3. Wacky antics.
So yeah, I'd probably marry Goodfellas. I'd probably, because I don't want to fuck the Godfather.
There's a lot of old guys.
But I don't.
Marlon Brando.
Yeah.
On this, the
Like,
day
it's-
of my daughter's
like, it
wedding,
would be
I will
very-
take off my pants.
It'd be a very slow, tedious sexual experience, I think.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna probably have to kill the Godfather and fuck Scarface because that just seems like a good time.
Probably.
Yeah. I'm
Just
gonna
like a big coke fueled all nighter.
yeah,
Absolutely.
in the hot tub,
In that hot tub.
yeah.
in the heart-shaped hot tub.
You guys
Yeah.
have a good point with the fucking Scarface.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really think.
I'm also gonna have to agree with the fucking of the Scarface.
Yeah.
Because that movie is like the sexiest of all three of them, I think.
It's in Miami too, right? Which is just like a personification of
Doesn't
just,
stop. You're making it less sexy for me.
Todd, think
Miami-
about Miami.
Miami is
All the bright colors,
sexiest.
Todd.
Miami
So
is
sexy.
it's the sexiest city in
You just became a
in
Muppet
America.
or
I
something.
get sexy.
I'm sorry, I sometimes turn into
No, but it really is like it's such a sexy movie just with terms of like music and like neon lights and mirrors and all that kind of
You're
stuff.
describing the things that make Miami.
Yeah, unfortunately. and I'm sorry, but like I had never seen Scarface until like kind of a few years ago and was always confused why like board shorts and like t-shirts and everything had like Scarface quotes on them and stuff.
Right.
And then I saw it and I loved it. I didn't know that Oliver Stone wrote it and I didn't know that like this and I didn't know that. And then I finally, the scene where Michelle Pfeiffer like comes down the stairwell and I just like, I mean, my jaw just dropped on the floor. I'm not really never really been into Michelle Pfeiffer. I mean, she's gorgeous, but I never really had been like, oh my God. And in that scene, I was just like, holy shit.
People don't think about Michelle Pfeiffer enough. And they should.
So yeah, I would have to simply for Michelle Pfeiffer, but also yeah, for Mountains of Cocaine and like for the empire building of a massive, empire of crime or whatever.
Now-
Definitely would have to fuck Scarface.
Now, Todd, who would you
Yeah.
marry and who would you kill?
I mean, I'm gonna have to marry Godfather, of course, because I want that long, fruitful marriage. Sure, it gets boring.
you want that
sometimes.
long-term deal with the Vatican Church. Get in on that money in movie 3.
Like maybe I never saw the third movie. Is that what goes on?
Don't.
Yeah.
Don't.
Yeah, this is what I've been
Everybody
told.
stop at
the
2.
amazing
This is what I've
thing
been
is
told.
I've never made it through Godfather 1, but I've seen Godfather 3 a lot of times.
That
Unfortunately,
must be why you
it's
like
always on TV.
what? What
strangely.
channels are you watching?
The Godfather Marathon channel. I always get there late though.
Yeah,
Real
but
late.
I don't know. There's something The Godfather, like you said, Laura. It's epic and it's beautiful and sure there's some like troubling times and sure you got to go hide out in Sicily for a while.
And you hate horses.
and your wife blows up in a car and everything. But and Diane Keaton. Let's just stop there. Marrying Diane Keaton, done. Anyway, yeah, it's a great movie and. Even though it is about gangsters and even though people die, I feel like more people survive for a longer period of time in Godfather than any of the other gangster films because Goodfellas, I don't know if you guys have seen this movie recently, but you're talking about, it's like about family and there'd be a great marriage. They're screaming at each other constantly. All of the people just kill each other. Like at the drop of a hat, it's like, oh, let's take him out back and let's, just like strangle him in a car.
Todd, are you insulting me?
it's
Todd, are you calling me like a clown? Like I entertain you?
Yes.
I think it's a more appropriate metaphor for marriage.
See, I don't want that kind of marriage. I don't want that at all.
Todd, you got to have the ups with the downs.
Lots
You got to have
of
the good,
I'll have
the good
the s-
Italian with the bad
I'll
Italian.
have the slow ups and the slow downs with Godfather, not the erratic.
and then eventual death by toll booth.
Wake up to my wife shoving a gun in my face. So I would definitely marry the Godfather. I would then kill Goodfellas.
So sad.
Because the movie's great, but it's also just very troubled, and all those people are just like, fucked up, and I don't want to go to the witness protection program, and I would then have to fuck Scarface and love it.
You would get fucked by Scarface.
Oh, I would get
Let's be
totally
honest,
fucked by
Todd.
Scarface, and I'd
Face
love it.
in the cocaine, and you would, yeah.
That's fine.
Well, guys, thank you for marrying and fucking and killing movies with us.
You're so welcome.
Thank
Always a
you.
pleasure.
Thank you. Thanks for listening. I hope you learned a lot about the musical Cats and Petoff. And if you're enjoying the show and you've got a second or two, a quick rating or review on iTunes would be amazing. Or you could share the show with a friend. Either way, we really appreciate your support. And as always, we'll be posting a new episode every other week. And if you'd like to download more episodes or check out other similar podcasts, why not head over to partialarc.com? That's ARC with a C. Of course, you can email us any questions at blockbustersmashup@gmail.com, or terrible movies that you'd like us to throw in here for our smash ups, or follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Tumblr, all at Partial Arc. If you'd like to hear more from Marissa Gallant, check her out on Facebook as she produces an amazing comedy show called Brew, the Comedy Show Drinking Game. And if you want to hear more from Laura Yonker-Myers, you can check her out on Instagram at L_Yonks. And be sure to follow Todd on Twitter and Instagram at TG11. Thanks for listening, and see you on the next episode of Blockbuster Smash Up.
Let's go home.